I know I'm a bit late on this, but I mean, goddamn, these motherfuckers tried to get Willie D. Motherfucking Willie D, who was only just a messenger, presenting facts and reporting news. And you see what the fuck I mean? I mean, you can't even report facts no more. At least on here. And that's all he was doing. I mean, that's why I'm so goddamn hesitant to touch on other topics. And it's not because it offends people, because I can care less about people's feelings and shit like that. I don't care about people's feelings and shit. But it offends the machine. The machine that runs this shit. This is why I don't mention shit like Charlemagne the God and the shit that happened with that. Just my opinion on it. R. Kelly. Anything that has to do with alleged rapes or sexual abuse, I stay far away from that shit. I don't talk about it. I don't mention police brutality, even though I got a lot of shit to say about police brutality. I mean, the social injustice in America, the social infrastructure of America. How this country kidnaps children and hide behind a name and call themselves Child Protective Services. I just don't talk about shit like that. Because this shit right here, this example right here. The fucking current president. The way he talks and all the shit he be talking and everything. I mean, I want to go in on Trump so fucking bad. I mean, I be wanting to go in on all these motherfuckers. I just don't. I mean, it's like anything factual. Anything factual. Yeah, I mean, it's like you can't say nothing no more. Because of stuff like this. I just fall back. It's like, yo, they about to get rid of freedom of speech. In our lifetime, I feel that they gonna use YouTube as an example to get rid of freedom of speech. They're going to usher in that shit just based off what somebody said off YouTube. Just watch it. It's going to be something about social media that they're going to be like, you know what? Somebody finna sign this, whatchamacallit, and you can't say this no more. If you say this on social media, your shit, you ain't getting no strikes. You ain't getting none of whatchamacallit. Your shit is going to be blocked, banned, and shit. Your IP address is going to be flagged, and you ain't going to be able to create no new YouTube videos or YouTube channels or profiles or anything. Your shit's just gonna be scratched. They're just gonna silence you. Now, Willie D is one of these old souls that I can appreciate. He one of those dudes where you can just sit down and you can listen and talk to all day. I mean, just to get knowledge from him. And you know, he from Texas, and it's like I respect a whole lot of people from Texas. So the Texas people, you know, they show you that real type of Southern comfort and shit like that. You know, if you from Texas and your head is right, then I more than likely fucks with you. You know, I love boxing just like Willie D does. That's one thing, you know, besides him being a former MC and shit. Like I love, you know, boxing just like him. You know, see, growing up, I used to cater to the generation above me because, of course, you know, they had a lot more information and knowledge, especially around at that time. You know, the people that was born in the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s. I mean, sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I hate the fact that I was born in the 80s. Not the fact, you know, that I like being, well, I don't like being young or anything like that, you know. Early 30s and shit like that, but you know, the things that there were available at that time, you know, for us to get. I mean, it's like it's really not how it is now, the way it was back then. Like where there were things in front of you that you can get. You can actually call yourself a go-getter back at that time, because if the opportunity was there, it was all you had to do was go get it. Nowadays, it's like you can be a go-getter, but you got all these fucking obstacles in front of you. You got so many obstacles in front of you to the point where it's like they want you to give up. They want you to just resort to, you know, just foolery and fuckery and shit like that. So I love listening to, you know, the older generation and shit like that. A lot of these people are in their 40s, 50s, and 60s and shit now, compared to when I was growing up, you know, back then. You know, so, but I'm gonna do a video on my inspirations and shit via YouTube, like the people that have gotten on YouTube, or, you know, either speak directly or just upload like a lot of knowledge and shit, you know, that we couldn't get taught in school and we would be taught in school and shit like that. I'm gonna do a video on that one day. But that's what Willie D is. That's what Willie D is to me. Willie D is one of those dudes who sit you down and just you know, break down a game to you and shit like that. It's like Jay Prince and shit. Jay Prince is one of them dudes where I could sit down. I'm like, he got a whole lot of goddamn stories. And I wouldn't be just sitting there just listening for entertainment. I'm actually trying to soak in this knowledge and shit. You know, all the info that he brings and shit like that. Same thing like the DLC. The DLC, he from Texas too. And there's a lot of motherfuckers from Texas that I done, you know, came across and learned from and shit like that. It just trips me out that, you know, a lot of these people can get on YouTube and talk foolery and nothing happens to them. Nothing at all. Nothing happens to them at all. Like they just even when I just be exploring YouTube, like just to try to pick up new subscriptions and shit from people, and I just hear some of the shit they say, I'm like, these motherfuckers ain't been flagged yet. I remember the first strike I got earlier this year. The first strike I got, I've been on YouTube for like 10 years. First strike I got was talking about how China banned hip hop from their country. Somebody flagged that video, and all I was doing was just reporting. I was reporting the facts of why China decided to ban hip hop from China. And then, you know, I threw in my little rant and, you know, my little opinion about it and shit like that, and said, I got a fucking flag for that shit. But I'm glad he got his channel back. It's just all the unnecessary humility and the fucking prostitution. the prosecution we have to go through just by speaking the truth. It's like you can't win for losing. You damned if you do and you damned if you don't. So peace to Willie D. Willie D, if you ever come across this, man, hey, I appreciate you, brother, man. I really do. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know, it's like, you know, especially like the older generation, they were deprived of a whole lot of shit. I think a lot of these people, you know, who are older and stuff like that, you know, they could have been other things. They could have done other things and shit like that. It was just they were deprived of it, or just didn't know how to go get it because, you know, either where they grew up or the type of parents they had, the people that are around them, the people that were in their ears, or just basically the location where they were at. They couldn't get to it. So I think a lot of our older brothers and sisters and shit who were deprived of that shit, you know, they see it now and it's fucked up. And then, you know, when freedom of speech comes out, you know, you trying to express yourself and you trying to explain what the hell has been going on and what's been going on since day one. This is the shit that happens. You can't say nothing no more. They want to censor what you say, even if you're just getting it from a third party and shit, and you're just repeating what is being said, and then giving your little opinion about it. Then they take that shit offensive. But facts are facts, and that's all Willie D was doing. All he was doing is just reporting the facts. So peace to him, and I hope everything works out good. And you know, I just hope that he, you know, has some people behind him to make sure that shit don't happen again. Cause you know, some people need to get up on this motherfucking vent, especially the shit that they couldn't talk about in the 80s and the 90s and the 70s and the 60s and shit like that. Now you got a platform where you can speak and you can talk. It's like motherfuckers want to sit there and try to censor you just because you reporting facts. So peace to the good brother Willie D.